A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a highly anticipated meeting next week, South Korean President Jae Myung will sit down with U.S. President Donald Trump for their first summit. This meeting comes at a pivotal time as discussions are expected to focus on key security issues, particularly concerning North Korea and the rising influence of China in the region. The summit is set to address a contentious topic: the financial contribution from South Korea for the upkeep of the 28,500 American troops stationed on the peninsula. This troop presence has been a legacy of the Korean War, which lasted from 1950 to 1953, and President Trump has been vocal about his desire for South Korea to increase its financial support for these forces. President Lee's visit to Washington follows closely on the heels of his meeting with Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba in Tokyo, where the two leaders reaffirmed their commitment to security cooperation and showcased the friendly ties between their nations. This meeting is particularly significant as both countries face common challenges stemming from their alliance with the United States. In a joint statement, Ishiba emphasized the increasing importance of trilateral cooperation with the U.S. in light of the growing strategic challenges in the region. At the Tokyo meeting, President Lee and Prime Minister Ishiba discussed a range of topics, including economic security, artificial intelligence, and defense cooperation. They also pledged to enhance their coordination against North Korea's nuclear and missile threats, reflecting a shared commitment to address these pressing issues. The leaders agreed to resume shuttle diplomacy and expand exchanges, including working holiday programs, to strengthen their bilateral ties further. Lee's visit to Japan marks his first official trip since taking office in June, and is seen as a strategic move to reinforce relations with a key ally before his summit with Trump. The backdrop of Lee's presidency is marked by significant political shifts, including the impeachment of his predecessor, conservative President Yoon Suk-yeol, which has led to concerns in Tokyo about the future of South Korea-Japan relations. Lee has been critical of past attempts to mend ties that have been strained due to historical grievances stemming from Japan's colonial rule over Korea. In a recent statement, the South Korean government expressed its disappointment after Japanese officials visited a controversial shrine honoring war dead, which many Koreans view as a symbol of Japan's wartime aggression. Despite these tensions, Lee has reaffirmed his commitment to fostering closer relations with Japan, indicating his willingness to prioritize diplomatic engagement. The timing of Lee's visit to Tokyo, just days before his summit with Trump, has been positively received by Japanese officials, who interpret it as a sign of Lee's dedication to enhancing bilateral relations. For Prime Minister Ishiba, who is facing pressure from right-wing factions within his party, a successful summit with Lee could bolster his political standing. As both countries navigate their complex relationship with the United States, they rely heavily on Washington to counter China's expanding influence in the region. Together, South Korea and Japan host approximately 80,000 U.S. troops, along with numerous military assets, including warships and aircraft. The leaders also discussed trade issues, agreeing to maintain a 15% tariff on U.S. imports of their goods, a response to Trump's previous threats of steeper tariffs. In summary, President Jae Myung's upcoming summit with President Trump is set against a backdrop of evolving geopolitical dynamics in East Asia. The discussions are expected to address critical issues of security, financial contributions for U.S. troops, and the broader implications of North Korea's nuclear ambitions. As these leaders come together, the outcome of their talks could have significant ramifications for the future of the South Korea-U.S. alliance and regional stability. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.